So today I'm going to answer a question that was posted by Paul Wiggins. And this was a question that came in through Twitter, actually. And Paul asks kind of a detailed question, so I want to make sure to read it. He says, if a key tenet of solution-focused therapy is description of hopes happening, does that leave a route from best hopes to resource talk to closing? And then he follows that up by saying, how would the content in resource talk relate to the desired outcome? So I think this is a really, really important question. So I want to make sure to nuance it just a little bit. And what I mean by that is, if you kind of think about the diamond, right? No matter what, we start with what are your best hopes, which he's highlighting is like this. All of this is around hope, right? And then we move into the description, and there are three types of description. You can either do history of the outcome, you can do resources, or you can do the future of the outcome. And really what Paul's getting at is that it's kind of easy to see if this is about hope, what's the history of the hope, right? What's the evidence that hope could have been present? And it's pretty easy to see how, what's the future of hope? If hope grew in your life, if you saw more hope, what would that look like, and what would be different, and what would you notice? And so really what he's getting at is it's not so clear exactly how to see, how does resource talk fit into that? How does talking about resources actually help hope to grow? And so I want to address that really clearly. And one of the things that I would say is, if we use that word hope, if I say, what are your best hopes? And somebody says, I would just like to have hope in my life, right? If we go into the past, then we say, what are all of the evidences that hope is possible in your life? When was hope present, and how was it present? And so in essence, it's all of the evidence of hope. If we go into the future, it's all of the signs, the future signs of hope. But with resource talk, one of the things that we do is we say, in essence, I give you all of the responsibility and all of the accountability for being the person who is able to produce hope. So one of the things that I want to make sure to talk about is I want to say, what do you know about yourself that lets you know you're the kind of person who could get a little bit of hope, right? Or I could talk a little bit about, I could say, what's the quality that you have that you're most proud of, right? And maybe they say, well, I'm a strong person. And I say, how do you know that you're a strong person? And they say, well, I've had to do some really difficult things in my life, or I've had to overcome some particular challenges, right? So they're teaching me they really value strength, and that's a characteristic that they really hold on to. So it's my job to make that connect to the presence of the desired outcome, in this case, hope. And I can say, if you were to use that strength and that ability to overcome whatever comes your way, and you used that to find hope in your life, to find even the glimmer of hope, what would let you know that you were using your strength in just that right way, right? And so then when they start to make that connection where they say, well, I guess I would have to persevere because hope isn't readily available to me. And then I can say, and if you used your strength to push through and persevere, even when hope seems like it's elusive, when you can't quite grasp it, what would let you know that you were using that perseverance and that strength in efforts to find hope, right? And I can also say, and who would notice that you were using this strength and this determination, right, to find hope? And so we have to remember that important people can also be resources. And they're oftentimes the people who will notice things that maybe we don't notice. And so one of the things that I think that's really, really important, whether hope is the desired outcome or not, what resource talk does is that it allows clients to take accountability and responsibility for doing the thing that's important and necessary to bring about their desired outcome. And so once they kind of catch the vision of, wow, I really do have these strengths, I really do have these resources, there are really important people in my life who can help me and who can support me in this journey, all of a sudden, what seemed unattainable before, that desired outcome that seemed out of reach, all of a sudden it becomes achievable. And I can say, if you used all the qualities and strengths and resources that you have in this arena. Maybe it's because you're a good athlete. Maybe it's because you're a good musician. Maybe it's because you're a good friend. Maybe because you're good at your job. If you used all of those things to achieve this desired outcome, what difference would that make? And how would you notice? And what would let you know you were using those skills in just the right way? Hope can't help but grow in that environment, because now they have to say, if I can do it over there, I must be able to do it over here too. And so one of the really awesome things about the desired outcome as it relates to resources is that in no other way does the client get to take all of the accountability for bringing it about. And so it should be a direct connection to instilling hope and bringing about the desired outcome.